Welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and look at this grid. I mean, this is a truly remarkable one. The puzzle is called Three Wishes, and it's by Matt Tressel, and loads of you have been recommending this. It is a Miracle Sudoku. There is absolutely nothing in the grid at all, but the thing that I think is truly remarkable about this one is that the rule set it's 4 or 5 lines long. It is a really short rule set. So normally when we get sent a Miracle Sudoku where there's nothing in the grid, there is a whole battery of rules that the constructor has needed in order to sort of force a unique solution on the puzzle. That is not the case here. This rule set is so short you could actually remember it. It would be very easy to remember. You could go to the pub with your non-Sudoku playing friends and draw it out on a piece of paper and say, look, that's a puzzle, and no one would believe you. Admittedly, I mean, this might explain why I've never particularly been popular in pubs, because this is the sort of thing that I would do. But this, I mean, this is a special one. I think that this is what we call a discovery, in the sense that this puzzle has always existed, but nobody until Matt Tressel has managed to unearth it from the Sudoku ether. In fact, why don't I read you the rules? Because we'll start with that, and then I've got a couple of other announcements. But these are the rules. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply, so we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Then it says, orthogonally connected cells within each region must differ by at least 3. So those two squares have to differ by at least 3, so do these. Orthogonal just means it shares an edge. So these two cells are orthogonally connected. These two cells are not orthogonally connected. They only touch each other at a point. So we apply that rule. Then it says orthogonally connected cells between regions must differ by at least 4. So those two have to differ by at least 4. So do those, etc. And there's only one more rule. The central digit of each 3x3 region is less than or equal to its region number. And regions are numbered in normal reading order. So this is region 1, this is region 2, this is region 3, region 4, etc. And what we're told is the central digit in a region is less than or equal to its region number. So this digit, which is in region 5, would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. That's not going to be very useful for that cell, because that cell's in region 9, and that cell could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. But I can see other regions where it might be very useful indeed. But I better not do any solving. People get very cross with me if I skirt that line into solving when reading the rules. It's considered a very bad-mannered spoiler. So I won't do that. But I will tell you that this puzzle has 1 star out of 5 on the difficulty rating. So it ought to be approachable. So not only has Matt Tressel unearthed an incredible find here, but this is a rarity indeed, in that it's meant to be very easy. So I love this. I'm looking forward to trying it. Anyway, what else do I want to mention before we kick off? Just a couple of things. Well, let's start with over on Patreon. Our Sudoku Club, we've got the Lord of the Rings Sudoku Hunt by Blobs. This is absolutely fantastic, and it's just a couple of bucks a month if you want to join our Patreon and indulge in the competition, which still has another 10 days to run. And yeah, this is there now. We've got extra crossword videos. I think Mark's recorded a Connections video, the New York Times game based on the British TV show Only Connect. So that's over there, as well as lots of other goodies. So do check that out. And thanks very much, of course, to all those of you who support us over on Patreon. You keep the channel going. And a couple of birthdays I'd like to do today. So Maria, from your best friend Charlie. I think I did this announcement the other way round. And Charlie was was the person who eats chili sauce, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, Maria, happy birthday. Charlie says that you are a great, great person who is a beacon of friendship, which is a very nice expression. And I hope you get chocolate cake today, Maria. And then the other birthday is William. William's turned 21. And William would like a shout out for his partner, Shy. And the two of them sometimes watch the channel together, apparently. So, William, happy birthday to you too. I will also just mention a quick shout out to Barry, who wrote us a very kind email. Barry, thank you for your email. Thank you for the puzzle. That is with the testers. But I did appreciate all of the comments in your email. Thank you very much for taking the time to send them in. Now, that's it. I think that's it. I've done the rules. I don't have to do anything else. All we have to do is to have a go at the puzzle. The way to play, as always on Cracking the Cryptic, is to click the link in the video description. That will take you to a page which looks identical to this one, where you can play the puzzle on whichever device takes your fancy. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Okay, now this rule about the central digit of each 3x3 region needing to be less than or equal to its region number, I think allows us to put 1 in here, because this is region 1 and we can't put 0 in there. And in fact, that's going to have a chain effect, isn't it? In fact, are we just going to put is this going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight away? It might be, because this cell has to be 2 or 1. And it can't be 1 by Sudoku. This cell has to be 3, 2, or 1, and it can't be 1 or 2 by Sudoku. This cell can't be... okay, no, it works a bit differently there. Yeah, okay, so maybe we don't get too many digits immediately, but this digit has to be 2, 3, or 4 now. It can't be 1 by Sudoku. But because it doesn't see the 2 and the 3... Sudoku doesn't allow this 2 to stop that being a 2, so we can't use that. That cell, yeah, that's okay. We're going to get into pencil marking, a pencil marking mania if we start pencil marking these, I think, because that's got 4 options, that's got 5 options, that's got 6 options. Yeah, we're going to go crazy. We're not going to do that. So we've probably got to use the digits that we've got. Now, what does it say? Orthogonally connected cells within each region must differ by at least 3. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the highest digit then, because that's going to cause the most restriction. If these digits, the orthogonally connected digits with the 3, have to be at least 3 different from 3, well, they can't be less than 3, because that's 0 or lower. We're going into that sort of territory. So these have to be 6 or more, which means they have to be 6, 7, 8, or 9. Now, I will do that. No. I will do that and pencil mark these other squares. So I feel like that digit's restricted, but that might not be true. Well, that's across a border, isn't it? So this one has to be at least, yeah, so it's got a sort of whisper-like quality in the sense that we're going high and low. This digit has to be at least 4 different from this digit. Now, even if this digit was 6, we'd still have to go downwards from 6, wouldn't we? We couldn't go upwards, because if we add 4 to 6, we get 10, and I can't write 10 in here. So this digit is a maximum of 5. Oh, I've got this, right. Okay, this digit is a maximum of 5. Which means by Sudoku it is now 4 or 5. Well, it can't be 4 because 2 and 4 are not 3 apart. So the orthogonal differences within region rule prevents this from being 4. So we get another digit there. That's 5. So this is 9 because it has to be 4 different. We can take 9 out of these squares. Look. And these... No, okay, I thought these might be restricted. Maybe we're meant to continue row 2. 4, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, this can't be 4. Right, I do see. Yes, okay. Okay, so the way I thought about this was I saw this couldn't be 4. Because 4 and 2 are too close together. So I knew this was 6, 7, or 8. But once you know that, you know this can't be also from 6, 7 and 8. These can't be a domino just from this pair or these digits, because these won't be 4 apart. So one of these needs to be the 4, and it can't be the right-hand one. So it has to be the left-hand one, and 4 will have to go with 8 because we need these to be 4 apart. And we're going to end up with a 6, 7 pair across in the sort of fringes of row 2. And what we are going to do with this is pencil mark. I think I'm going to pencil mark those 2 digits. Again, they have to be 3 different at least from 4, but we can't go downwards now because these 2 digits would be 1 or lower, and they can't be 1. So we have to go upwards. So these are 7, 8 or 9. And then we can whisper to these, can't we? These have to be 4 different. So these can't be higher than 5. And they can't actually be 5. So these are 1, 3 and 4. Oh, okay, that might not have worked as a strategy. I'm sorry about that. I thought that might be an intelligent way to think about it, but no. All right, let's try these 2 digits then instead, because these have to be, yeah, I can see these are under pressure. So I'm thinking about these 2. Now, the reason they're actually under pressure is a combination of these digits and this one sort of. But this is a 5. Here is a knowledge problem. This is a 5. Yes. Oh, what an intelligent comment, Simon. This is a 5. Now, if we were to go down, these squares couldn't be 2. The green squares couldn't be 2. So they would have to, one of these would have to be a 1 if we go downwards. But, oh no, that does work. I'm wrong. Yes, sorry, I didn't realise this. These could be 1, because these could be 5 in these squares. Ah. Okay. No, I can't rule that out. So these are either 1 if we go downwards, or if we go upwards. Oh. Well, if we go upwards, they can't be 8, so these are a 1, 9 pair. Right, okay, so that's good, because that's going to rule 1 out of these squares. These squares have to be a 6, 7 pair then. Let's get rid of the green. We don't need that anymore. And whichever, yeah, okay, so whichever one of these is a 1 is going to have a 5 in one of those 2 squares, isn't it? Because we need a digit that's 4 different from the 1. So there is a 5 in one of these, which means there's no 5 in those squares. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad so far. I mean, it's very rare that I have sort of 7 digits in a puzzle by 13 minutes, but I don't think it's totally trivial. Okay, so perhaps we have to think about this square. Problem is that we could have a 9 in one of those, couldn't we? And then we'd have a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple. No. The way to do this box is to say where do 2 and 3 go in it, because 2 and 3 can't go next to the 1. They would be too close. So the 2 and 3 go in. We've got a chance of a 3 in the corner, therefore. And one of these digits is definitely a 5. And whichever one of these is a 5 is going to have the 2 next to it. So it's either a 2, 5 there or a 2, 5 here. Because the 5 couldn't go next to the 3. Okay. So we've still got work to do. The interesting thing, or an interesting thing, is that although we've sort of populated rows 1, 2 and 3 with pencil marks, I don't think we can solve the puzzle exclusively by looking at these 3 rows. Doesn't seem to be enough, so we're going to have to look Well, slightly strangely, we're going to have to look further afield. And I don't know how we're going to really get any pencil marks, because the central digits, I don't think they are very restricted. Well, okay. No, that's not quite true, is it? Because I do know that this square is low. And when I say low, I mean it's got to be a 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. So it's 1, 3, 4 or 5. And that's probably putting pressure on this digit. Because, well, oh, no, it is. Because there's a 4 difference across a border, isn't there? So yes, if this is 6, this can't be higher. It can't be 9. So we are going lower. We're going lower by 4 at least than these digits. So this digit is 1 or 3. Even if that's 7, this cannot be higher than 3. And now what's this? It can't be 3 because that will be too close to it. It can't be 1. So this is 4. Oh, well, no, this just can't be 3 at all. It doesn't work. 3 is too close to whatever this wanted to be. This is 1. Aha. It doesn't tell me what this is, though. It just restricts it very slightly. No, it doesn't. That's true, but this digit is now under pressure. Because this, we can't go lower than 4 or 5, because we have to go at least 3 lower. So we'd be in the realms of 1s and 2s if we do that. So we have to go higher. So this is 7, 8 or 9. And it's not 7 by dint of the 6, 7 pair. This is brilliant. It's quite brilliant. Let's try... One of these could be a 2. That's the unfortunate thing. 8, 9. This is any digit that's 8 or lower. I mean, this obviously has to be lower than this digit. So this is a maximum of 5. So this is 3, 4 or 5. Oh, okay, I'm going to just keep going down this column actually. Because this digit now cannot be from 3, 4 or 5. Because these two will be too close together. So that's got to be from 3, 4 or 5. And that's the other digit in the column. So this is 8 or 9. No, that's it. Because there's one thing I know about this cell. And literally it's the only thing I know about this cell. Well, almost the only thing I know about it. It can't be a 9. Because this is region 8. So that is an 8. That's lovely. So this is a 9. That means... No, that doesn't mean anything. Oh, bobbins. Okay. Well, 8 is in one of those squares by Sudoku then. Oh, that's really strange. Oh, you know what's going to happen? We are going... Look at the options here. We are going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's what's going to happen. But our job is going to be to prove it. So do I do the same in this column? I'm just seeing this column looks slightly more determined than this one. I don't know what that digit is, or at least I don't think I do. Right, I'm going to try that digit. So this digit is lower than 6, 7 or 8. Yes, it is, because it's 4 different. So this is a maximum of 4. This is an even digit. It's 2 or 4. And this digit is, in theory at least, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6, and it's not 3. And if this is 2 or 4 and this has to be 3 different from it, this digit is not 2 or 4. So this is 1, 5 or 6. It's going to be 6. So if this was 4, then this would be 1. But if this was 2, this could be 5 or 6, I think. There's definitely an 8 in one of those squares. So this digit is slightly pressurized. Is this the way to do this, or is there something a little less? Oh, 9. I could do Sudoku on 9. 9's in one of those two squares. 9's in one of these. I know it's going to be here. Okay. I mean, if that's 4, the only way this can be 4 is if this is 8, because these have to be 4 apart. So is there a reason you can't put 8 here? I doubt it. No, that looks perfectly reasonable to me. Okay. 2, 3, 4. These squares are from 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I mean, that is a lot of pencil marking. That can't be what we're meant to do next. Can it? Is this under pressure? This digit is... It's got to be 4 different from this digit. And it can't be 5, because 5 in this column is in one of these squares. So that digit is low. That's 2. Oh, I've broken it. No, I've broken it. The puzzle's broken. Sorry, I don't know what I've done wrong there. Ah, no. Right. No, I haven't broken it. Wow. Okay. Okay. My problem was I was looking at this square and I was trying to think about how I could position this square so that it had the appropriate difference between these two positions. But I think it's okay. Right. So the point is, the question we should ask is, can this be a low digit? And by a low digit, I mean a 2, 3, or a 4. And the answer is obviously no, because it would be too close to this one. So this digit is a high digit. It is 6, 7, 8, or 9. But this digit has to be at least 4 different from this digit, which is also quite a high digit. And the only way this pair of digits can be separated by 4 is if this is a 5 and this is a 9. Sorry if that's been available for a while. I didn't see it. Now, if this is a 5, that's a 5. We know... Oh, I thought we knew something about how that was going. I can't remember. There was certainly something I thought I knew about how this junction worked. Was it whichever one of these was a 9 needed a 5? No, it was whichever one of these needed a 1. That had to go with a 5 over here. Because now if this is 1, this can't be 4 different from it. So this is 1, this is 9. 9 in this box is now forced. So okay, so maybe it might get easier now. Famous last words, but let's see. 2, 3, 4. So there's a 2, 3, 4 triple in the top row and a 6, 7, 8 triple. This square now is a 9. By dint of something, an arcane process known as Sudoku. There's a 9 in one of these squares. This digit has to be at least 3 different to this digit, so that's got to be 8. This, no, that's okay. Okay, that's got to be 8 though. That seems to be reasonable. A reasonable use of Sudoku. This digit is okay. There's a 6, 7 pair now in row 1. And a 6, 7 pair here. So there's definitely a 1 in one of those 2 squares. Oh, this can't be 8 across a border from a 9, so that's got to be 8. So this digit is actually a 2, 3, or a 4, because it can't be 1 or 5, but needs to be 4 different from 9. Okay, now can we keep that going? Feels like I'm trying to create some sort of low quadruple in row 4 to me, because these two have to... Well, the problem is these could include 6, couldn't they? They're from 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, so it's nearly good, but not quite good enough. Now, where should we look next? This digit? We've got to be going downwards, so that digit is 1, 2, or 3, or 4, actually. Oh, so maybe it... but okay. No, that doesn't put pressure on this. It would... Well, there are certain digits. No, there aren't. That could be 3, couldn't it? Because 3 could go with 6 in this domino. In fact, that's probably what it does go with, because I think that is going to end up being a 6. Oh, if this is 4, this doesn't work. It's too close now. Oh, I see. Because we move the 8 up here, this domino now can't be an 8-4 pair. So this is a 2. Now, what's that doing? Possibly things... Well, 2 can't go with 1. So this is moved up to being 5 or 6 now. Four can't go here because it would be next to a 6 in one of those positions, and 4 and 6 are obviously only 2 apart. So this is a 1 or a 2. Is it going to be something like where's 7 in row 5? Or maybe it's this digit actually, because if we go up from 5 or 6, we're going to get to 8s and 9s, and this digit can't be 8 or 9, so we've got to go down at least 3. This has to be a 1 or a 3. Okay, that's actually not doing anything fundamentally brilliant, I don't think. Oh, yes it is. There's a 3 there. That's a 1. So this is now... 5 would be too close to 3 or 4, so this is 3, 6. That could be good. That could be good. Come on. That's now 7. So this is 6. 6 can't go next to 4, so 2, 1, 4. Ha! And that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Very nice. Okay, so 4 must go next to 7 because it's too close to 6. This square's a 6, this square's a 7. Hopefully this is all sort of working. That's now... I can remove some pencil marks from certain cells. This is a 4-5 pair by Sudoku, so this is a 7-8 pair. It's nearly good, isn't it? But I don't think it's quite good enough. Where do 7 and 8 go in this row? Well, one of them goes here, but the other one has to go there by Sudoku, and it can't be an 8, so that must be a 7. That's an 8. That's a 7. 7 goes here in row 5. This is no longer a 3. 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5, actually. So this is 1, 4, or 5. That's 1, 2, or 5. Now, all we've got to do now, that can't be 5. It would be very, very much too close to this digit. And it can't be 1, so that's 2. That's 5 to make sure they're far enough apart. That's 4. That's 1. 4 comes out of here. That's no longer under pressure, but this can't be 6 or 5 across the border. That's got to be 3. That's got to be 4, 4, 5, 6. Now we need 2, 5, and 8 here. That's chocolate teapotted. But we can use the rule. We can use the rule. We can't put 2 next to 4, so that's 2, that's 5, that's 8. These two squares are 6 and 3. Yeah, that's doable. These squares don't include 5 anymore. Don't think we're going to be able to do the order, but I'm more hopeful now. Well, that digit we know has to be less than 7, don't we? Or 7 itself. So 2, 3, or 7 itself. Which is actually all the options that we had for these squares. But if we put the 2 in the middle of this sequence, it will be next to a 3, so we actually need the 7 to separate that sequence out. So this is 1, 5, 6. And again, we have to keep playing this game, don't we? If we put the 5 or the 6 here, it will be next to its friend 5 or 6 on the top and bottom of it. So this needs to be a 1. And across the border, 2 and 5 are too close together. This is remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable. Now that's 2, that's 3, that's 3, that's 4. These squares are somethings. 4s, 8s and 9s. Well, we can't put 4 next to 2, so we're going to put the 4 there. 8 and 9. We can't put the 8 there, it's too close to the 5. How did you discover this? It's weird. It's absolutely weird that this works. 8 goes here. 1, 5, 9 into these squares. So the 1 has to go there. The 5 and the 9 all go in. 2, 6 and 7. Where do you put the 2? You've got to put it in the middle. Now that can't be the 6, so that's the 7, that's the 6. This is a 2, this is a 5 by Sudoku again. We need 1 and 6 here, so we can just do that. Let's get rid of the pencil marks. 4 has to go here. I mean, the puzzle's finished now, isn't it? It's just a case of filling it in with 3s, 7s and 9s. 7, 3, 9. That is absolutely ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Whoa, how many people have solved that? 1,300. Good grief. It's not surprising we're getting recommendations to try this. That is startling. What an incredible puzzle. I didn't think it was that easy either. I mean, I suppose it's interesting that you can get row 2 figured out quite quickly. I couldn't do all of it. Maybe there was a way to do all of it. But then you really have to think about how the rules develop these columns. Because there is a sort of restriction on those 3 squares. It's just, that is brilliant. Matt Tressel, Take a Bow. That is going to be a very popular puzzle, with good reason. Yeah, and let's start a spate of people going to the pub and sharing Sudoku with their non-Sudoku playing friends and showing them that variant Sudoku is really, really quite extraordinary. What a discovery. Loved it. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. We'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.